With me now live, Dr. Christy Higgins, creator of Safe Black Space and vice president of the organization. Dr. Tia Hairston, good morning to you.
Good to be here.
So glad that you're here. Ladies, you're 4 years in. And Dr. Christy, for those who maybe haven't been watching when you visited this program before, what exactly is Safe Black Space and what birthed it 4 years ago?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to share the background. So Safe Black Space, we're a nonprofit organization. We actually were developed out of the unfortunate and tragic killing of Stephon Clark 4 years ago. I have background as a African-centered psychologist and took the opportunity to connect with some of my colleagues, some of my friends, some folks here locally in Sacramento who are other clinicians and educators and community activists and faith leaders to bring together some of the information I knew related to the Community Healing Network and Association of Black Psychologists to create a community healing circle for our community, which was in so much distress after the of Stephon Clark.
Definitely. Dr. Tia, has the mission morphed 4 years later? And if so, how have the needs in the community kind of demanded that? How have you kind of reshaped yourselves to serve what's been going on stage by stage?
It has definitely morphed just into something greater. We initially got together just to create a space for folks to express their pain, their fears, their rage, their whatever they were feeling at the moment. And we didn't realize that it was going to turn into something every month that we all needed to do for our own self-care, for our own well-being. So yes, it has morphed into something greater. It has morphed into something that we really hold dear to our hearts and are compassionate about serving our folks, our people in the community. And we really just want to expand this service, this humanity across not only Sacramento, not just California, but really as far as we can reach and really express our care for our people and our communities.
In Sacramento and Stockton, this is a vulnerable time in the overall community psyche because of the mass shooting in the capital city and because of the uptick in killings in Stockton this year. All of these events are triggering in terms of the other traumas that may have happened in people's lives. So for either of you, how is Safe Black Space meeting the needs with all of that going on right now?
Yeah, I mean, clearly there's a lot that's happening in our local community and even beyond that can be triggering, that can be upsetting when we're witnessing it or experiencing it very locally. And so one of the things that we did as an organization was that same weekend after the mass killing here in Sacramento, we hosted a circle online for folks to be able to participate in that. We have our event tomorrow, which is much more celebratory in nature, but that will provide an opportunity for our community to come together and to love on each other. And our anniversary tomorrow is for everybody. We really are inviting folks from all communities, all backgrounds, family members to come and be with us to celebrate, as well as to get a better understanding of what we do and what we've done and where we're going. The other piece I'll add in real quickly is that the response that we are also doing is we're building our Safe Black Space Mind, Body, Spirit community resource list, which is an opportunity for Black providers, people who identify as being of African ancestry that provide a service in kind of our local area in particular to be a part of that. So people know where to go and how to access support in any of those areas.
Alrighty, Dr. Christy, we just put up the invitation that you've been circulating in the community. But Dr. Tia, if you could tell us where exactly is this happening tomorrow, and if you could speak to the fact that this is called a Safe Black Space, but as Dr. Christy just mentioned, you're not excluding people from learning about the healing that's available, even though you do offer culturally competent help, and then you definitely aren't excluding people from coming to celebrate, right, Dr. Tia?
Yes, so it will be at the Roberts Family Development Center. We're so thankful for them hosting us. And yes, tomorrow is about everybody. Obviously, Safe Black Space, the circles are usually just for people of African ancestry, but tomorrow we want to bring the whole community in to see what it is that we offer, because we know that it's not just us suffering, and we know that we have a lot of allies who will benefit from understanding more about what it is that we do. And they can share this with their loved ones who are of African ancestry, or their clients, or whoever it is that they may come into contact with in the community or in their daily lives and their jobs. And so that's why we're opening up tomorrow to everyone, so that people have a better idea about what it is that we offer and how we can better support our community.
And we're going to be putting up your sign-up form on our website, fox40.com. Now that we're 4 years in, I know you guys got this grant from the MacArthur Foundation, and you're looking at kind of formalizing your internal structure and expanding some of your offerings into school environments. But when you think ahead 4 more years, when you're celebrating your 8th birthday, what do you envision for this organization, Dr. Christie?
Wow, thank you for offering that vision, right? Well, I think that we will have an expanded staffing. Right now, I'm the sole kind of staff member, the executive director of the organization, so I know we'll have a bigger, broader staff. I'm sure that we will have different kind of lanes that we are working with. We have some ideas of doing some work and a contract in place actually with a school system, and maybe at different levels of that. Maybe doing some particular work around employees and workplace involvement. We're hearing and seeing a lot of impact with that. But I also think we'll be doing things potentially like having advocates or peer navigators that might be able to help people get connected with services. We've also talked quite a bit about being able to offer like healing retreats. That we might be able to take folks away for a weekend and do kind of an intensive together. And then ideally, I would see us as well doing kind of annual trips to Egypt and to Ghana to have an experience as well, so we can reconnect with our cultural roots beyond our lived experience here in the US. So I'm sure there's much more, but those are some of the big items that I imagine we'll do. And the last thing I'll say is our community healing circles. I imagine that they will continue to grow and expand. And as Dr. Hairston was mentioning earlier, the other idea is that we allow this to be a national and more international experience where people can do what we're doing. We can replicate that and scale up, right, to use a language, that it spreads out beyond the work that we're doing here.
We know you spread out internationally when everybody was meeting virtually during COVID, so that is definitely something that people are still plugging into, even though we're kind of past the height of the pandemic. Well, congratulations on the 4 years. Thank you for checking in with us, and we'll be checking back in with you as you reach toward that next 4-year mark. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.